Are you all ready for the next speaker? Oh, I love it. Trent put us in a great place. So let me tell you a little bit about her. This next speaker is the author of four best-selling books on digital marketing. She has been featured in Forbes and the Wall Street Journal. And check this out. She has received 7 Two Comma Club awards and 1 Two Comma Club X award. Yeah. With no list, she brought her company from 0 to 19 million in under 4 years. Now, one of the keys to her success was an understanding what we're going to call the funnel before the funnel. You see, here's the thing. So many of us, we focus on our actual funnel itself, right? The sales pages and the upsell path and the cross sells and the down sells and all that good stuff. And that's great. We should absolutely focus on that. But there's a funnel before people even hit that funnel, right? What about the process and the things that we're doing before people even see your actual funnel? Well, that's what she's going to talk about. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for me to bring her to the stage? I was like an 8. Let me ask you one more time. Funnel Hacking Live, are you ready for me to bring her to the stage? Well, if you are, you know how we do it. Get up out of your seats, put your hands together, and welcome to the stage, Krista Mashore.
This is how legends are made. This is how legends are made. This is how legends are made.
You guys didn't know we were going to be singing karaoke, did ya? Are you guys ready to attract, connect, and convert more? Do you guys want more leads? Oh, you don't want leads, you want conversions. We're going to be talking today about how to drive high quality traffic that actually converts. Sound good? Okay, but just so you know, high energy equals high income. High what? Yes, 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 yes. I actually used to be a teacher prior to getting into real estate. Yes, I was going to be a principal, believe it or not. And one of the things that we learned was that when you have dialogue, right, meaning like people are responding back and forth, you learn more quickly and you're more likely to implement. So what that means is, whether I'm on the stage today or any other speakers that you see, you want to engage so you're more likely to implement. Make sense? We got that? Okay. So let's practice. All right, you guys ready to practice? You want to practice? What? Bring up the energy. Come on, we're a funnel hacking live. Yes. All right. I just got done saying high energy equals high income, right? So you're gonna have lots of energy. All right. So you guys just did it. You already won. All right. So how many of you? I know I've done this. How many of you have ever made assumptions? Have we done that? I know. Raise your hand. We all do, right? We're human. So sometimes you look at people on stages like this and we think, you know, they're just successful, maybe because they're just well off, or maybe because they just were born in a wealthy family. They're just lucky, right? We think that we can't do the things that they're doing. Our brain says, no, you can't do that. You're too young. You're too old. You're too thin. You're too heavy. You're not smart enough. You don't have enough money. We tell ourselves these things, and really they are not true. So I want you to fight that while you're here, all right? Anytime that negative voice comes up, you just throw it away. Can we do that? Okay. What? Oh, yes, you guys are in the right place. I know that. Okay. So, you know, people might think, well, Krista, you're successful because you've got that pretty blonde hair, which is fake, by the way. Okay. Thank God for extensions, my extension sisters. Do you hear me? Like, I don't know what I do about this, right? Or maybe my little shiny shoes, right? DSW, $88. That's it, right? My point is we see people and we assume things. So I want to tell you a story. This is me when I was 13. That's Krista. In 7th grade, look at the braces, okay? I haven't lived at home since I was 13. And the story that I'm going to tell you, I want you to know that a year and a half ago, I sat at Funnel Hacking Live, and it was all about your story. and that your story can really impact people. And I really want to make a big impact. And so I've been telling a story, and it was a true story. It just wasn't like the real story that I should have been telling. So I got on the plane, and I remember writing on that yellow piece of paper, just like crying and just bawling my eyes out. And sorry. Oh God, it's the second time I've done that. Anyway, so the first time I actually fell was the first time I was ever on stage. That was really embarrassing. So I wrote a letter to my mom, and I asked her if it would be okay if I told the real story. And I love my mom. We're very close now. And I didn't want to feel like I was betraying her, so it was really difficult for me to talk about. And so I wrote her a letter. It took me 8 months to give it to her. That's how hard it was. And so I gave it to her. We didn't talk for about 2 weeks. And she said, let's meet for lunch, Krista, and talk about the letter. So I did. We never spoke about the letter, but I knew that was my okay to be able to tell the story. So I left it home when I was 13 because I was being physically abused by my mom. And I remember waking up to the smell of urine in my sheets because I went to bed until I was 10. And in the fear of, oh my gosh, what if she finds out? It might be another beating today. So I try to hide the sheets. I remember being diagnosed with not being able to read in second grade. And so I went to a special class in second grade until fourth grade, and they taught me how to read. The learning disability came from the abuse as well, just like wetting the bed did. And so it was very difficult growing up. So finally I got tired of it. I couldn't handle it anymore. So I started running away from home, and I ended up living on the streets for a while, living in RVs, or living in my friends' parents' closets while they were at work. This went on for about a year, and I'd get caught and they'd take me back home, but I kept running away. I couldn't handle it anymore. And the shame and the guilt and just everything you feel when you're abused from a parent, it runs very, very deep. And so finally I broke the law. I ended up getting sent to juvenile hall. Don't judge me, but I ended up breaking into my 8th grade locker room while the girls were at PE and stealing all their clothes and their lunch money. Was not the most popular person, so imagine coming back and having to wear gym clothes all day, right? They weren't very happy about that. So I was in juvenile hall, and I remember I see this girl, and she's like about 6 foot tall. She had to have been at least 6 foot tall. She had red hair and white skin, super, super bright skin. And I watched her in the bathroom grab a girl's head and bash it into the porcelain toilet, just blood everywhere. And I thought to myself, my God, I don't belong here. I'm going to die. Well, I ended up being okay. So once I went to juvenile hall, they sent me to a group home. It was called Hidden Hills Group Home for Girls. But let me tell you, there was nothing hidden about that. I got dropped off every day in this huge green bus, basically labeled, I'm a big fat screw up. Don't talk to me, ignore me. So imagine spending your first 9th grade like that. And then from there, I ended up getting sent to a foster home. So I haven't lived at home since then. The good news is that things actually turned out okay. Here's my loving family. In fact, my gorgeous husband was up here. He was the one that was like, in the red. You did so good, babe. I was like, if my husband can do it, I can do it, right? He was so cute. He hates me on stage. He was like, no, I'm not going up there. I'm like, yes, you are. So I have my 2 beautiful daughters here, and my wonderful bonus son, and hopefully my soon-to-be daughter-in-law one of these days, Shelby. So thank you for being here. I also have my foster sister, Chrissy, here, that's been best friends with me since I was 8. So I'm just so loving and grateful to have all you. So here's the news, everybody. I tell you this story, not to feel sorry for me. I tell you this because all of us have something in our lives that we deal with. Maybe it's abuse, whether sexual or physical. Maybe it's a bad marriage or a divorce. Maybe it's fill in the blank. We all have something, but we have to be willing to take what's happened to us and not make it be our reason why we can't, but make it be our reason why we can. Can we do that? Yes, we can, right? Okay, so a little bit about me. I used to be a teacher. Then I went into real estate when my first husband had an affair. I was just going to play real estate and ended up having to go all in because of that. One day I got home, there was empty bank accounts, and I had 2 little girls, ages 2 and 4.5. And so I had to just go for it. So I did. Was in the top 1% of realtors nationwide for over 20 years. My first year in the business, I sold 69 houses, just straight out of fear. My goal was to keep my daughter safe in our home. Based upon what I had gone through, that was my why. My why was, no matter what, I'm going to make sure that these girls are safe and happy. And that's exactly what I did. Just like Trent did, which didn't he do such a great job? Trent was just amazing, wasn't he? Yes, he was so amazing. He said, you have to know your why. And it's so, so true. I know my why, what it was then. So under 4 years ago, I sat right where you are. And I didn't even know what a funnel was. I remember I saw Russell on a webinar. And it was my first webinar. Like, I thought he would just make potato guns. So I'm like, oh my God, this guy's doing potato guns? I could totally do that. So I pulled out my credit card, paid 25 grand. I didn't ask my husband. Sorry, babe. I didn't ask my parents because my parents had never done what it is that I wanted to do. You see, I wanted to make more of an impact. I wanted to make more money more easily. And so I didn't ask their advice because they hadn't accomplished what it was that I wanted to accomplish. So I took action quickly. And the reason is because money likes speed. Everyone say it. Money likes speed. That's right. Action takers are money makers. That's the truth. So I took action very quickly. Next thing you know, I'm in Idaho. And without having a list and nobody knowing me, we've done just under $19 million in under 4 years, all because of ClickFunnels. In fact, you have to know something. Was it easy for me? No. Did I fail? Absolutely. Am I still failing sometimes? Absolutely. But I fail forward. The only time you actually fail is when you stop. I'm in Russell's inner circle. And if you know, I'm very transparent. About 18 months ago, right when Corona hit, we were at a 6-week burn rate. I was like, what has happened? So we adjusted, we modified, we adapted, we changed. We did not stop. We just kept on going. I didn't look back. And so just this year alone, we've accomplished this. Okay? And I'm so grateful for Russell and his training because when I was in real estate, I was like a psychopath working every weekend and every night, making crazy phone calls. My best year, I sold 169 homes myself. I was like, and I love pleasing people. I'm just relentless about the customer experience, so I couldn't let that call go, right? I'm the mom that was on vacation, getting up at 3 a.m, going down to the lobby, working on my stuff, right? And my kids are like, Mom, let's go. We're going down the zip line. I'm like making calls. So when I met Russell, I was like, I gotta do this. I can do this. And here's what I'll tell you: you can too. You can too, right? Like, you really truly are just one funnel away. No matter where you're at, you're just one funnel away. So what I'd like to do now is show you exactly how we've done this kind of business so quickly, differently. I want to talk to you about before the funnel. Okay, can we do that before the funnel? Okay, all right. Because we want them to get to our funnel, we want them to convert. And I know what I'm going to talk to you about is probably different than what you're used to because I haven't seen a lot of people do it, but it's so, so important. So, so important. Okay, so do you know there are 59,300 business coaches in the US, right? It takes 18 times to get somebody to actually respond according to Sales Hacker. 18 times. And you get between 5,000 and 30,000 brand messages every single day from billboards, TVs, and emails. So we have to make an impact. We have to break through. We have to give people a reason to want to click. So we do this through engagement marketing. And no one does this better than Russell Brunson himself. So let me ask you a question, okay? I want you to think about the most important thing in any business is starting to use video in your business. Getting people to know you, to like you, to trust you, to see you as the authority figure, to position yourself as the expert. In doing so, you will break down barriers. You'll get them to raise their hand. Let me ask you a question. Stand up if you know Russell Brunson. Stand up. Stand up. Okay, stand up. Everybody should be standing up. Stand up, stand up. Okay? Okay. Now everyone look around and say to your neighbor, I know Russell Brunson. Okay. You know that he's got a beautiful wife, Colette, that he talks about all the time. You know that he likes eating these big, huge turkey wings with all of his kids. You know he wrestles with his sons, and he does gymnastics in his garage with his daughter. He's a really good parent, right? We know this about him. You know Russell. So let me ask you another question. Why are you here today? Everyone, maybe you're here for leads, to make more money, to have your first million. Yell it out. Tell your first, what are you here for? Yell it out. Why are you here? Why are you here? Yeah, I want to hear it, everyone. Why are you here? High energy equals high income. Let's go. Yes, let's go. Okay. Guess what? The real reason why you're here is because you trust Russell. Now, let me ask you another question. How many of you really actually physically know Russell? You're in his inner circle. You're on his speed dial. You actually have had lunch with him. You've spoken to him. If you have done that, keep standing. If not, sit down. Everyone look around. 95% of this room is standing. But you all said you know Russell. That is the power. Okay, everybody can sit down. Good job. All right. That's the power of video. 93% of brands got a new customer because of video on social media. 93%. Should you be doing video, everyone? Yes. Okay, good. 84% of people say they've been convinced to use a service by watching a brand's video first online. You are a service. They're buying you. If they're 84% more likely to buy you, should you be doing video in your marketing? How often? Every day. Absolutely right. 84% of marketers say video has helped them generate quality leads. What kind of leads? What kind of leads? Quality leads. Quality leads will convert. Video will help you convert. 60% of people who make a purchase from a brand found out about them on social media. 60%. Now imagine combining video and social media. That's where conversions come. That's where conversions come. Oh, sorry. For some reason, my slides aren't moving. Oh, it's my fault. Put the wrong button on there. Every day, a billion people, every day, people watch 1 billion hours of video on YouTube. Every single day, 1 billion hours. That's a lot, isn't it? Okay, so let's talk about, according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, about 20% of small businesses actually fail within the first year. By the end of their 5th year, roughly 50% have failed, and by 10 years, 1/3 of businesses are left. And that is because they don't consider every aspect of the sales cycle in their business. So to have a complete business, we need to think about marketing. Marketing is attraction. Marketing is attraction. If you've read Dean Graziosi's book, which is on your seats a year and a half ago at Funnel Hacking Live, we got that book, Millionaire Success Habits. He talks all about marketing. Marketing being attraction. Marketing is when you do marketing correctly, people are raising their hand to want to work with you, right? That's what it is. If you market correctly, then people are going to raise their hand and to generate leads. They're going to say, I want that. Give me that. Give me some of that good stuff. But we still have to nurture our leads. And once we nurture our leads, if we do a good enough job using video, stay top of mind, are in their face constantly, we will have a much better chance of conversion, right? Remember, we don't just want leads. We want high quality leads that do what? Convert. Absolutely, absolutely. Then we've got fulfillment and delivery. How do we give the best experience possible? And if you know me, I am relentless about my customer experience. In fact, the first 2.5 years in my business, I didn't make much. Yes, I had 2 combo couple words and all that, but I put everything back. I wanted to serve, not sell. I wanted to add as much value to my customers as possible. And because of that, we are skyrocketing now in the middle of a worldwide pandemic. And then how do we make sure that we do 5 R's? Get people to refer us, to retain them as customers, get them to resell with us. And we do that through rituals and routines, which takes commitment, just like Trent was talking about, right? Choose commitment over convenience. Hard to do sometimes. Lisa Nichols says that, okay? All right, so now what we think about is how can I weave video into every aspect of my marketing, right? And my lead generation, and my lead nurture, and my conversions. If you can do that, when they get to the funnel, conversions are so much easier. This little mic thing is kind of sliding down my thing. I think it might fall here in a second. My back is a little sweaty. Okay, so this is the full sales cycle. We want to put as much of our marketing into every aspect of it as possible. Now, I want you to think about something. There's a book called Sway, The Irrational Pull of Irrational Behavior by Ori and Ram Brofman. This is an excellent book. It talks all about the pre-frame and how what we do prior from bringing a customer from one phase of our sales cycle to the next, from cold to warm to hot, absolutely makes an entirely difference of whether or not they're going to convert, okay? So there's a study that was done at MIT, and they had a substitute teacher. And so before the substitute teacher went on, they said, students, we love you. We care about having the best quality instructors. So here's a biography about the instructor. They gave this half of the room one biography, and this half of the room a different biography. Everything in the biography was the exact same thing, with the exception of rather cold. He was a rather cold person or rather hot person, okay? Rather warm. Now, the students that watched the exact same presentation, they watched the same instructor, right? But the ones that got rather cold, they said he was self-centered and ruthless and irrational and too formal. Most of them did. The ones that got rather warm, they said they loved him, he was good-natured, he was considerate of others, right? And he was very social. Just from having a word, rather warm, rather cold. That tells us that the pre-frame, what we do from moving a client from where they're at up our customer journey, makes a difference. So if we can have a pre-frame where we're actually getting people to know us, to like us, to trust us through our video, we're developing a relationship with them, they will be more likely to convert. In fact, there's a word for it. It's called a parasocial relationship. And what that means is that when somebody sees you on the other side of a TV screen, they start to develop a relationship with you. Think about it. Every single person in this room stood up and said that they knew Russell Brunson. When really, I think I might be getting shocked here. When really, not very many, but that wouldn't be good, huh? Yeah. When really, only about 5% of the room did. It's because of the parasocial relationship. You want to develop a relationship with your clients, a relationship with your community, so that they will be more likely to convert. Make sense, everybody? Okay, all right. So how do we do this? How do we pre-funnel? How do we get people to convert? Number one, you have to be the solution. In order for you to be considered a solution, you must be solving a problem. We've got to serve, not sell. We've got to offer value. We've got to use video in the pre-funnel, the pre-frame, before we actually take them to our funnel, okay? If you can do this, if you can solve their problems, you're going to win. But you have to know who your client avatar is. You need to live a day in the life of your client avatar. You need to know what keeps them up at night, what worries them, what are their fears, what are they, everything about them. The more you know about them, the more your content speaks directly to somebody, the more likely they will convert. All right? Educate them with the solution. So the first part of the pre-funnel is, number one, identifying a problem that your client avatar is having. And then you're going to start giving video solutions, right? You're going to take that content, put it out in front of your audience without asking for anything in return. You're going to spend 15% of your ad budget just educating your audience, getting them to know you, getting them to like you, getting them to trust you, giving them a reason to want to click. Here's what most of you do, right? Like, remember when you met your partner? Remember? You didn't just go up to him and say, you want to jump in the sack? Like, how do we just go there and, get it on? You didn't do that. Right? I mean, you probably want to, some of you, but what happens in Vegas doesn't always stay in Vegas if that happens. So would not recommend it. The point is, you started Googling them, you text them, you call them, then you meet for breakfast, you meet for lunch, then you meet for dinner, then you get engaged, then you get married, then you can hop in the sack. Most of you are just jumping in the sack. You're like, download my lead magnet, give me your information. They're afraid to, and they're getting bombarded with marketing messages. You've got to give them a reason to want to be able to say yes. All right, so here's the steps. Number one, gain authority and credibility by creating valuable content. Number two, give them something of value without asking them to have to download or give you any information at all. Then you're going to want to have them actually click. Now I'm going to click, I'm going to download, I'm going to join without having to give any information whatsoever. Make sense so far? Got it? The idea is each time the pre-frame, I'm getting them to do one more thing. First they're watching, then they're clicking. Then what I'm going to do is now I'm going to drive the traffic to my funnel. Now I'm going to convert them. Why? Because I've done my due diligence. I've dated them. I've warmed them up. They have much more likely a reason now to want to say yes to me. Now, some of you are thinking, Krista, that's a waste of money. No, you're going to have much higher quality leads that convert. This is the strategy that I used in real estate and the exact same strategy that I used when I launched my coaching business. All right. And then continue to nurture, 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 nurture. Okay. So, little thing here. Here's an idea. Attract with videos, right? Connect, join your Facebook group, do the video challenge, time management training. Then we're going to bring them to our challenge or our accelerator, then to our 2-day event. Then we're going to go ahead and do more retargeting, more testimonials, training videos, and testimonials again. Make sense, everyone? Take a picture. I don't have time to teach it, but you kind of get the idea. Got it? Got it? Got it? I love the cameras. Good job. I love you too. All right. You guys are so awesome. Okay. Do you guys think that McDonald's is a better burger than Burger King? We all know In-N-Out is way better than all of them, right? Extra sauce, for sure. In-N-Out. Yes, yes. I'm like loving that stuff. All right. McDonald's and Burger King are the same. They're no different. But why is McDonald's 143.8 billion and Burger King is only 7.1? I will tell you. Number one, systems. You have the system right here with ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels is your system. ClickFunnels is your answer. People you're seeing here on stage, they're using a system. Make sense? Branding. Branding works like crazy. Look at Russell. He brands himself like a master. Branding will help people to get to know you. McDonald's is everywhere. We all know McDonald's, the golden arches. Branding. Also, they make tough choices. It's not always easy to pull out that checkbook. But guess what? When you make those tough choices, pretty soon it gets easier. It's either going to be tough now or tough later. You choose. McDonald's chooses to be tough now. That's with our $143.8 billion company compared to 7.1. Make sense? They're also innovative. Be innovative. Be different. Be unique. Lastly, they emulate. Or Russell would say, funnel hack. Right? Funnel hack. The systems are here. You're watching people. You're seeing so many successful people. They are no different than you. You can do the exact same. And they are always first. They are always first. Be first. Be first. Okay. You guys are all so smart. You know what you need to do, right? You've got goals, but we need our GPS. You need not only goals, you need guidance, right? You need to be able to have a plan and a blueprint. You have that here. You need the support and the strategies and the systems to help you get from where you are right now to where you want to go. There's a study called the Change or Die study. People would rather die than change, right? People were going to die. They had health conditions. They said, if you don't stop drinking sugar or eating sugar or, drinking alcohol, you need to exercise more. If you don't stop, you're going to die. After a year, 9 out of 10 people would rather die than change. However, there was another group that had coaching, accountability, and support. Out of that group, 77% of them made the change after 1 year because they had the coaching and accountability and the support. So here's the thing, everyone. Grab your community. It's all right in front of you. Grab your community. This is ClickFunnels. Let us help you. We've got the solution. My time's just about up. So on your seats, you're going to see a book from me here. And there's a little trick that I do. So understand that when you haven't lived at home since you were 13 and you're a victim of abuse from a parent, there's a lot of feelings in your head. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. I can't. I don't feel loved. I don't feel liked. I still suffer from them. I'm a master with my mind now. I study mindset like crazy. And so one strategy that I teach people and my students, and it works fabulously, is anytime you have a negative thought, we have between 60 and 70,000 thoughts a day. Anytime you have a negative thought, recognize that thought. You're going to stop, recognize it, snap, and then switch it. Put it on the other hand, and then say, oh, I can do that. It looks something like this. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough time. Oh, yeah, I do. I'll be resourceful. I'll figure it out. Stop, snap, and switch. Everyone say it. Stop, snap, switch. Okay, good. Now, I'm going to leave you with one last thing. And write this down. This is important. If I could go back. Sorry, I'm not picking my butt. Just this thing is there. If I could go back. If I could go back in time and talk to that 13-year-old girl that didn't feel good enough, that didn't feel loved, I would tell her the same exact thing that I'm going to tell you because it's true. And I hope that when you leave this room today, I want you to go outside and take a video of yourself and remind yourself of what I'm going to tell you right now. You are good enough. You were meant for more. You can do anything you put your mind to. You just can never stop. You're worthy. You can do it. Figure it out. I saw a shirt here. Figure it out, right? Make the time. Find the resources. Because if you keep doing what you've always done, you're going to continue to get the same results. We must change ourselves. We have to be action takers. Action takers are money makers, right? So take action and keep going. Never stop. Never give up. You will never fail if you never stop. Thank you.
This is how legends are made.
Hey there, I have a brand new podcast called Fired Up with Krista Mashore, where I bring my high energy right to your ears. This podcast is available on all your favorite podcast platforms. So do me a favor, go subscribe and leave a review. All this information is free and I cannot wait to teach you everything I know. Thanks so much for watching my video. You can learn more about how to be a successful real estate professional by watching other videos that I have. And be sure to subscribe to my channel. And as always, make it a great home selling and buying day.